consider heresy as something wrong can be likened to Marx, who considers religion to be opium, because they do not understand what occult and religion are in the true sense. Marxism. Collective consciousness structures are all belief systems, norms and values that provide a framework of understanding, meaning and spiritual orientation to human endeavors including worldviews, religion, philosophy, societal morality, cultural and artistic values. Occult science is knowledge that explains things that are unseen, things that are hidden or the area of mystery. One of the sciences or knowledge that exist in the occult area is religion. Many things in religion cannot be tested for truth. Verified by limited human logic. Opponents of the occult have existed since the rationalist era in the mid-17th century, including Benedict de Spinoza and other Enlightenment intellectuals. Their version of enlightenment to the subjective meaning of what they have not yet understood is here their publication of the previous traditions, which must be ancient and backward, plus a religious foundation based on their interpretation only. Klenek is also associated with many things that cannot be understood by reason but are believed by many people or called superstition. In English is called superstition, is something that is based solely on delusion. It is because of something that is not logical. Klenek. In the indigenous cultural traditions of Indonesia, in this case the Javanese, culture is something that is hidden, or something that is kept secret from the public, because it requires deep understanding to be understood. In Javanese culture there is a knowledge called old science, that is, knowledge that is taught to those who are mature in their consciousness. This is intended so that it is not misused or misinterpreted. Such knowledge is called Klenek. That the nation of Nusantara believes in only one God, Hyang Widi Tunggal. In Nusantara this teaching is called Dharma Dhamma. Sacred rituals which are carried out including silent contemplation in the cave, Topo, Upasena, Kanyago, Kamala, Tahanuts and forms this procession that appears at the Borobudur Stupa. Teaching or religion. The truth can only be understood by those who pursue higher knowledge. In Islam it is called Makrifat. For lay people the truth of religion is quite believed. This is the name called Klenek. So where is the location of the Dua? Right, Hyang Widi singular, only because there is incense in ritual. Things that are true, occult, are meant for the welfare of humans, not to push people into a dark world, only a distortion of meaning that changes this perspective to become bad. It is naive if we do not understand a science, then we classify it into superstition or Klenek, which so far have been understood by many people to be heretical and not wise. To label heretical just because it is different in terms of culture. The ritual practice of the original teachings of the archipelago was only to worship God, not to worship ancestral spirits, to respect, not to worship, to not to feed jinn or demons, not to animism, dynamism, especially primitive. As for what is called Primban, it contains the human life cycle from infancy to adulthood. Each floor of the life cycle will usually carry out certain ceremonies. For example, when a baby is born there will be a salvation called Brokohan. In the Primban there is also a pranata of prayer, the calendar of the seasons. The Javanese use the pray structure to see when it is planting time. Usman Arif said, chance is a cosmocentric philosophy that humans and nature are inseparable. Humans are part of the universe so that their motion cannot be separated from the motion of nature, like time and the direction of the wind. Hudak Kawit ritual. In Kalimantan, which dances in circles around one point like hornbills. In the customary Laman page are high cultural products whose logical reasoning has not been able to make sense of logic, or cannot be reasoned and understood by science at this time. There is a ritual, Dharmic original, which may be called Klenek, because reason has not been able to reveal its secret, which is to carry out a movement around the object, which later today became called Pradaksina, Prasawiya. The Waf is one of the rituals around the object, and this is also has been carried out by pre-Islamic society. This ritual also existed before the existence of Hindu-Buddhist teachings that were born in India. Pradaksina, Prasawiya, whose direction of rotation is symbolized in the direction of the swastika, rotation. European philologists call this Dharmic teaching, which underlies the growth of teachings in Indian land originating from the archipelago, former Indonesia. In 399 to 414 AD Huan on a journey in Svarnadvipa saw and recorded, following the river Po Nai, is the river Panay, Kampar, at the place where the students made a movement of walking in circles around the tope. Stupa, also 4 teachers sitting in 4 corners. In this place the tower has been erected Pradaksina Prasawya Tawaf Dharmic ritual in Muaratakas. In the years 602-664 AD, Hyan Sang recorded what he saw in Svarnadvipa. Next to him there is a stupa built by the king, about 200 feet high. Near this is a sign where the Tathagata walks to and fro Pradaksina Prasawya Tawaf. The sacred ritual, Dharma, in between, Purwadaksina Pradaksina, rotates to the right in a clockwise direction towards the main Swaloka and Prasawya, turning left counterclockwise Manuju Berloka Nista. This is the original ritual of the ancestors of the archipelago, not Hinduism or Buddhism, now perfectly preserved in Bali. Primbin, Wuku, Zodiac, Feng Shui, are the results of the thinking of previous humans who already understand the universe, of the galactic universe as well as its influence on physical humans who are born in planetary constellations in the solar system that affect it. Therefore the calculation of precision, related to living activities based on the position of the constellations in the universe, is the highest achievement for a culture in society, and our ancestors have been able to carry out the calculation of precision, which is called Primbin. This is not preceding the will, God, but Sayasati, to reoccur nature to live in harmony with the universe of the universe. There are areas that can be digested by reason and logic and some that cannot be understood, let alone to digest logic. This area that is not or has not been able to digest it is what is called clinic, and it does not have to mean not having God or associating it. The original teachings of the archipelago already believe in one God, Hyang Widi Tungal. The Talatang teaching mentions God Almighty. Dewata Sua e Marapu culture mentions Mawulu Tao Maji Tao, creator and maker of man or God Almighty. God in Kaharingan teachings is called Yustu Halatala, while in West Kotawaringan it is called Sanghyang Dewata. Parmaline Batak mentions God, Mulahadi Na Balone, in his worship, Sambahyang. The term for prayer is Tanjong. Papua culture, Asmat, knows God, as well as heaven. Au Kapani is now in nature. Dampu Au Kapani is a stopover. Sofar, heaven, the Mi tribe calls God, Yugatang. Flores the Soj tribe. In Sika the Tanai people believe in the rulers of the earth and sky who protect nature and give life, namely, Lira Wulan Tana Ikan. Timor NTT. God is most high. The creator is called Uis Neno, and Uis Pa, the god of the earth, Adat Li. The culture of Sabu Rawa God is called Deo Ama. Muntawai culture, the highest ruler of the universe and has unlimited power, calls it Ulau Manua. Bali said, Ida Sang Hyang Widi Ways, he who cannot be imagined. What is unthinkable is Asintya, Adantya is not Krishna. All the original teachings of the archipelago are not animism, dynamism, and are not imported from outside. They are familiar with the concept of monotheism, Hyang Widi Tungal. Not really. Loro Ning Atungal people who consider heresy as something wrong. Without researching it can be likened to Marx, who is godless in our culture, is not from India to Arab but both from hereby, Santosaba.